Good afternoon. It's February 5th, 2013. I'm Logan Burgess. To my right here is Brock Shimano. Well, Brock, let's jump into fire tips, see where the grains ended on kind of a mixed day in Chicago. As we can see, corn was off 4 3/4 cents from March delivery. Soybeans, the only grain ending in the black today, up 6 3/4 there. And we had Chicago and Kansas City wheat both moving lower as well. We had some interesting technical levels tested today. Fundamentally, not a lot of news, though, out this morning. Brock, what's kind of your take on the action we saw?
I think we're kind of settling into a consolidation period for corn, soybeans, and wheat. We have the USDA reports on Friday, so I think traders are starting to even some positions, maybe take some of the risk off the table ahead of those reports. And like you said, soybeans really went back up and tested another the $15 technical resistance area that we've been watching, only to be rejected again, and we ended up around $14.95.5. So I think that is really going to be the number we're going to want to watch on Friday.
Yeah, certainly giving this soybean market some direction is going to be those reports out on Friday. Can you kind of break down for us the average trade guess in terms of ending stocks? We did get those this morning, and those were released by Reuters.
Yeah, the Reuters poll was released this morning for domestic ending stocks and what the average of the analysts' guess are for the ending stocks revisions. For corn, we're looking at about a 16 million bushel increase, soybeans about 6 million bushel reduction, and for all wheat, about 11 million bushel increase on the ending stocks.
Okay, so in general, not any huge revisions expected here on the heels of January's report, but in terms of the balance sheet, if you had to guess where changes would be coming down the pipe resulting in these changes to ending stocks, where would you be looking for them?
On corn, I think I would be looking at ethanol. We haven't seen any revisions to the ethanol sector over the last couple of USDA reports. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a 25 million bushel reduction there. We have been running well behind pace to meet the current USDA projections for ethanol use of corn, so I would imagine that we'd see some reduction there. Soybeans, we might see a little bit of a reduction, an increase in the crushing numbers. Right. We've seen good crush totals over the last couple months or so we might see a little bit of an increase there for soybeans.
Certainly. In Friday's report, we're going to be getting some production estimates out of South America as well. Let's jump into those numbers here real quick and see what the trade's expecting there. As you can see, we have Argentina on the top here, Brazil in the bottom table, and the second column here is what the USDA reported in their January WASDE report. The third column here is what is the trade expecting out of Friday's numbers. And as you can see here, we're looking for some production to be taken off, production out of Argentina for corn and soybeans. And a totally different story over in Brazil. It's really been a tale of two crops. As you can see here, expectations are for Brazilian corn and soybean production to both be increased slightly by the USDA out of Friday's reports. And it kind of gets back to what you guys have been talking about yesterday on the show. It's really a tale of two crops right now, especially in terms of weather. Northern Brazil, Mato Grosso region's been getting really inundated with rain to the point where harvest concerns have come into the picture. Totally different down in Argentina, though, where things remain relatively dry. So certainly two very different crops here shaping up. We'll have to keep an eye on Friday's numbers.
I think there's really some differing opinions on what's going to happen with the Brazilian production and the Argentinian production. We saw a couple of private analysts over the last week or so come out and actually reduce Brazilian production a little bit as well. So It's kind of a mixed bag on what's actually going to happen. What the Reuters poll is projecting here is not much of an increase for Brazil on corn or soybeans there, so we'll have to watch that on Friday. Later this week, we're going to get the EIA ethanol numbers tomorrow, the production figures there. On Thursday, we're going to get the export sales. Make sure you follow us on Twitter for all the latest updates, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good one.